Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, my family took in a mother and daughter into our family, and I discussed it with my family, explaining this isn't like having a relative over for 3 or 4 days, which many of us find challenging enough anyway. This is taking complete strangers into your household, many of whom who don't speak English, and that was always going to be challenging. And one of the messages I certainly gave to the new refugees minister is that we have to start planning, not just for the end of the 6 months, but before that, because you don't know where there's going to be personality clashes, challenges. We now have obviously the cost of living issues that many families are facing. So this is a government issue, and I think the government has to come up with a solution.
It's quite astonishing, really, that they didn't. Well, nothing surprises me anymore, Brooks, to be completely honest. I was going to say it's astonishing they didn't forward plan a solution, but most of the stories that we talk about here at the moment is a failure to forward plan. So what will these families do now if they are asked to leave the households that they're effectively lodging in? Where will they go?
Well, I think there's already been challenges. So along the way, there's been personality clashes, people not quite understanding what the challenge is of living cheek by jowl with somebody you don't know. So they've already been dealing this. You've seen them finding other families for them to stay with. So I think, the priority has to be, first of all, to try and see if there's still over 250,000 people on the list of people who volunteered to take families in. A lot of them, and I know because I've been contacted directly, saying I'm still waiting to have a family. So that should be the first port of call. But secondly, the government needs to give local councils some form of extra support to find people housing if they can't find another family for them to go to.
I guess you could, if you were trying to look at this story in a positive way, is to say, well, 25% of families want to say goodbye to their temporary friendship. But you could also say, Brooks, that means that 75% of families are happy to keep these people with them.
Yes, no, I think the British public, just after the war started and we had the Homes for Ukraine scheme open up, I think within 2 or 3 days, there were 150,000 people signed up immediately. And then over the following 2 to 3 weeks, I think a total of 250,000. So I think the British have been incredibly generous in saying they welcome families. And I think it's incredibly positive that probably, I reckon, over 50% of the names out there will probably want to keep the families with them if they can do. But I think, certainly my experience of the two people staying with me is they work hard, they keep to themselves, they even buy their own food. We say, we'll buy food for you. They say, no. They're very self-sufficient, they're hardworking, and so on. So I think, I think the point that you're making is we should look at the positive side of it and say that it's tremendous that there are 250,000 families out there who are willing to take in refugees into their house, not just for a week or 2 weeks. This is 6 months or more.